Welcome to another Good Dads podcast. I am Jay Fotsch alongside Brian Mattson from the Downtown Church here in Springfield, Missouri. And I will let you welcome our guest and tell us a little bit about today's podcast.
Yeah, so this is The Difference a Dad Makes, and we are excited to welcome Miles Wilson, who's a K through 4 PE teacher. Do we still call them PE teachers?
Yeah, PE.
Sweet. At Ozark South, and we're going to be talking about...
What else would they call them?
Physical education.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I didn't know what that... I wouldn't have known what that meant if I was an elementary kid.
Oh, I get that all the time. What does that mean?
Now I do.
Yeah.
When I was 5 and 6, I was like, oh, he's the PE teacher.
The gym teacher.
Yeah.
Gym
Yeah.
teacher.
Gym, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So it is back to school time, though, and we're going to be talking about balancing some of those habits for the school success, because we got a new school year coming. They keep coming. What's up with that?
This will be my 6th year.
Congratulations.
PE,
Well,
so
Miles, tell us a little bit
ready.
about you and your story.
And especially being a dad, since it's a Good Dads podcast.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
Well, like you said, I am a PE teacher. This is my second year, will be my second year at the school I'm at now. The rest of my time, I was a PE teacher in Florida. So, big difference in here. But other than that, I grew up loving sports, loving going outside, playing games, and it just never stopped. So, I went to school to be a PE teacher. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But I did. Other than that, I've got one son. He's 2, and I've got one on the way.
Oh, wow.
So
Congrats,
we'll have
man.
2 boys.
That's great.
Yeah. Very
Awesome.
excited.
Can I just say this? And I love when we get to do podcasts together, because we kind of have a similar childhood and almost in the same era for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like he grew up down the street from me or something, like in St. Louis. But whenever I think of a PE teacher or gym teacher, I don't look at this man is like a good looking guy.
Yeah.
He's very fit.
Appreciate it.
I think of my gym teachers who wore blue jeans, and ripped polos, and they smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Take another lap.
So
Yeah.
this is just, it's blowing my mind right now, Miles. I'd like to tell you.
Yeah. I will
Smashing
say,
stereotype.
yeah, there are good ones out there. We are here. PE has really changed from like, hey, we want you to coach our high school team, but you don't know how to do anything else, so we're going to put you in PE.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So this still happens a lot of times, but not everywhere, you can't get hired unless they want you to be the high school coach of something. So, and a lot of them still do, but it's getting away from being a requirement, because just because you're going to be a really good coach doesn't mean you're going to be good with 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds, because it's very different skills. So, and a lot of times with elementary PE, it's a whole different world. I'm not teaching kids how to, play big sports and go to college and all that.
Doing tackle football.
No, I am more focused, on, they like moving. I want them to play games so they're like, I like moving. I don't want to just sit on a phone or a tablet. Maybe I want to go outside. Or another big thing that I teach is I don't know how to get along with other kids. So those are really my 2, like if I do those 2 things every day, I feel like I did a good job. If I'm teaching them to get along with other people and then like moving. So that's really my 2 only goals. If I don't do anything else, I did a good job.
So would you say PE now is more, I don't know, like psychological a little bit more than, obviously it's about moving and it's about doing activities, of course. But is it more like, it almost seems like a hybrid of I had health classes.
Yeah.
Where you would do work from the workbook and everything. And it's almost kind of seems like both of those in one.
Yeah. So it's just, everything is always changing, and what kids need when you were a kid, when I was a kid, is just so different. So with the technology and really how schools have changed, that collaborative effort stuff, it kind of goes away. So if you think of all the things you did in school when you were in groups, and you just had a lot more interaction, because education is more individualized now, which is great because you have people of all different levels, but it doesn't always teach how to work with other people.
And okay, so you're in the athletics sphere.
Correct.
Team sports is a big part of that.
Huge.
Right? So what are some of the skills that you've used from your own past experiences? You said you were an athlete, you loved playing sports and games growing up. What are some of those skills that kids need to learn, from kind of the sports world that they can use in the academic world?
Oh, I mean, it goes hand in hand. If your body is doing what it's supposed to be doing, it helps your mind. If you're eating the right foods, it all works together. So what I really work on is the coordination and the health aspect. So those are the two biggest things that I am trying to work on. But really, it's mood, it's attitude, it's how do you regulate emotions. PE is like a really easy place to do that, because if you think back when you're playing tag, you ran away from someone, they tagged you, and you got to think like, should I do the right thing? Should I freeze? Or be like, I didn't feel it. And so I do those things where we stop and we have to talk about being honest, doing the right thing, and all those. And I think that just goes hand in hand with life. Like if you can do that, like you're going to be able to do it when you get older and you have bigger problems. So
do teachers ever drop the kids off in the gym or outside where you are and they're just like, hey, run them?
1,000% all the time. Yeah. Yeah. All the time you'll get.
Wait, their kid, like the parents of the kids?
No. Like the teachers dropping the kids off. Like,
they're ready.
Run them.
Yeah.
They got too much energy.
It's a huge part. And kids do need to get their energy out. Our school does a really awesome job. They have lots of recesses, but in a lot of schools, those are going away. And so really the only time they get to get their heart rate up. Yeah.
Where are they going?
They're changing it into more classroom time.
Oh.
So some schools do great. The school I'm at does really great. I think they have like 2 or 3 recesses every day, which is great, but it's not happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Other schools I have been to, they get like 1 recess every other day because of just how the curriculum is set. And so that makes PE even more important.
Well, okay, so that's interesting because my son is very much like, this is the order of my day. And he thrives on that routine. And so recess built into he knows he's going to get to release some of that energy and tension as he has 2 recesses.
Yeah.
He knows he's got that to look forward to. Taking those things away, what does that do? Like, how important is it to have routines for these kiddos?
Oh, it is. All of school is a routine from the second they get in the door to the second they leave. So if your child or the child can handle going through routines and knowing how I do this and then I get to do this and then I do this, it just sets them through the school day. And there are a lot of problems when kids have problems going from routine to routine. And the first month of the year, that's all that it is. That's all that school is. They're really not even focused on academics. It's the routines. It's you come into the classroom, you set your backpack down, you start your bell work. There's a timer up on the board. We go to math, we go to science, we go to PE, we go to recess. So that is all school is. So the quicker that you can get into the routine and get used to it, and the more regular it is, it's just the better. It's something they don't have to think about anymore. They already know it's my time to do this. I know when I'm done with this, I get to do this.
There's a nice reward throughout the day, too.
Oh, yeah.
It breaks your day up. Like I'm just thinking of it like a kid.
Yeah.
Like in my days of elementary school where I was just like, man, if I can just get through math, that recesses after.
Yeah. Oh, that was...
So it's almost kind of like...
Even PE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the only way I got through school. Me as a senior in high school, I took 3 sections of PE in one semester.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what I lived for, and that's what a lot of kids live for. And even if it's not PE, it could be art, it could be music, it could be... That's kind of like their escape where they get to do something they really like to do.
This Good Dads podcast is brought to you in part by our generous supporters. This week, we'd like to thank the following: Table Rock Shores, Lorenz Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flint Rock Home Builders, Mr. Wayne Sheets, Mrs. Dottie Wolf. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Visit our website at gooddads.com to learn how to contribute to the Good Dads mission.
You know, it's so funny. Last year, so Jack was in kindergarten, and it was maybe the third week of school, and it was a Friday or a Thursday. I can't remember which, but he is so ordered. I mean, he is very much like, I wake up, I do this, and he loves it, thrives on it. When his routine gets broken, he kind of feels like he's adrift and doesn't have an anchor. But it was maybe Thursday or Friday, and my wife was like, Jack, you're not listening to what I'm saying. And he's like, I've been paying attention to Miss Zaleski every day. I just can't do it anymore. He just got worn out. But like the fact that he had that routine and it helped him follow through. But then that first month of school, he was still getting used to that routine.
Yep.
He had hit his limit of paying attention. I'm out.
It's been a stressful day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the same for. I got next week we go in without kids, and then the week after that school starts. I already told my wife, hey, when I go home after the day is over, it's going to be nap time. It's like I'm going to go lay down because it is tiring getting used to back in the routine, and summer can really get me and kids off of that routine, and it's tough to come back to.
So, what do you do? You know, I know you mentioned, and this is very interesting on just how PE has changed throughout the years. So, what do you do with like people who aren't really wanting to move around, or maybe they're like they go into it, or maybe their parents are like, he's not athletic, sports are not for him. Like, is there, you know, what I always loved about PE, there's other activities that you can do that's not necessarily constantly like on your feet, and it's all about sprinting and running and timed events and how awesome or what record you can break.
Right.
There's other activities. So what do you say to someone who's like, well, PE is not going to be my thing? So does that go back to your kind of like psychology of like not having a negative attitude going into it?
Oh, yeah, definitely a positive attitude. I am in a very awesome position where I teach elementary. And so I don't get that many kids, because when they come in, this is a big gym, and there's all of our equipment is rainbow colored. So I have a red, green, orange, blue, purple, everything. And I don't play a lot of games where there's a winner. I don't play a lot of games where this 3 people, you are singled out and we're waiting, and then it'll be your turn to do it, and then everybody will be watching you when it's your turn. Most kids don't like that. And I go up to 4th grade. Even at 4th grade, most kids don't really like competitive games where there's a winner. They just don't. They just want to play with their friends. So I try to cater almost all my games. They are continuous, or, hey, if you can get all of these to the other side, you'll be the winner, knowing that it's impossible. Like, so it's just it's just getting them moving. And not everything is a big game where it's, hey, this class is playing against this class. I'm like, no, I'll put you in a group of 3 with your friends. So you don't have to worry about, I feel like I can't do this exercise right, or I can't throw very far. I'm like, well, I'm going to put you with your friends who don't care. Mm-hmm. So it's not really about, it's just doing whatever I can to get them moving. You don't rank your classes. I don't care.
So this is totally different.
This is my most talented kid.
I was just like, I like, if I was in last, then I was like the wrestling dummy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was like the slowest guy running the mile in my PE class, it was like, well, when we do wrestling next month, you get to be the tackling dummy. Because you did last.
Yeah.
You're going to learn next time to start doing it faster. Mm-hmm. So there's no hazing.
No, there is no hazing in my PE classes. I will say that right here. There is no hazing.
That's good. It has changed.
Yeah.
It has changed.
Yeah. I can remember 4th grade gym class, and one of the kids, Justin Landel, was a gymnast. And we're all struggling to do like 3-4 pull-ups, and he was in like 30s, 40s, and the teacher was like, well, you don't have to do any more. And he just kept throwing
Just
them down.
going.
And
House,
everyone else was like, we are failures. This kid, you can't let
Yeah.
that kid be on the...
Well, and then usually like the coach or the PE teacher would they would have their favorites, right?
Yeah.
There would be the people, they would be the guys that were the fastest guys, or like you knew that they were going to be on the sports teams or whatever. They got, I mean, dude, they would get A's right away. You know, they would just be, and then we would get, especially if you're in 7th grade. I'm thinking of my 7th grade PE teacher for some reason. He liked the 8th graders more than the 7th graders because it was like that the 7th graders had to get like hazed from the 8th graders.
They had to accomplish the 8th grade. Yeah.
And it was like, we just going into it, you knew as a 7th grader, it was going to be a rough year.
Yeah. Yeah.
For our PE coach, and from the 8th graders.
You think the PE coach was looking forward to those 7th graders every year?
Yeah, well, it was like, here was the thing.
Fresh.
Here was the thing, and this is the weirdest thing in the world, is that I was like, you know what? This sucks right now, but I can't wait to be in 8th grade next year because I get to haze.
Oh, that's great.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is going to be great. Dude, nothing like this is happening now.
Yeah.
No.
We have progressed as a society.
Yeah, we are a little different now. Well, and like I said, I spent 1 year teaching middle school, but other than that, it's been elementary for me. That's what I like. That's what I want to do. I just want everybody to like moving.
So do you incorporate every sport in PE now? Like, not necessarily like, the exact rules of it, but some kind of facet of baseball, some kind of facet of basketball, some kind of with your activities that you're talking about?
So how it is broken down in most places, and it is here, is the standards that they want to hit as far as grading purposes. And, hey, as a kindergartner, they should be able to do this at a certain level at 1st grade. So those standards are like striking, which would just be like hitting, like volleyball, those kind of sports. There's throwing, there's locomotor, which is like skipping, running, hopping. Can you jump on one foot? Can you jump on two? And it gets more advanced as you go. So it
like MMA.
We don't go that far. I try as hard as I can.
Oklahoma drill.
I do not want them to touch each other.
Okay.
At all.
Gotcha.
So the PE teacher trick, if you're playing tag, you always you cut a pool noodle into like about that big, and you only tag with those. Saved me so much headache from that.
Them.
So there's lots of skills and there's lots of standards that they hit, and they do all correlate to sports. As far as the younger ones go, it's just how are their form? Like, is it mature? Like, you've seen a child where they throw, if they throw with their right foot, their right hand goes forward, and you're like, that didn't look right. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of just teaching those mechanics, but then trying to
fundamentals,
make it fun.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like, hey, we're not going to throw to a wall. We're going to play this game where you're throwing it back and forth and trying to hit these targets, and I'm going to walk around and say, hey, stick your other foot out. And that's kind of how I handle the standards. So.
Okay, so you've got a 2-year-old.
I do.
So you're probably getting some normal sleep time in the evenings?
He is a pretty awesome sleeper. I'm not going to lie.
You're getting ready to go into the world of...
Yeah, why don't you guys just sit here and brag about it?
Yeah, he's getting ready to re-enter your world.
It's going to be all over for me. So.
Yeah. So are there routines that you've developed now in your home life as a dad with this 2-year-old now that you're kind of getting into, you can start doing routines more that they recognize, this is what I do now, this is my nap time, this is my lunch time, this is stuff.
He is a routine fiend.
Yeah.
If he gets off of his routine, it's a bad day for all of us. And we really started it. My wife's a nurse practitioner and I'm a teacher, so we're all just really into like the medical and, best practices for
your body,
for raising. Yeah. And so we were always like, oh, it's time to put him down. He's been awake for this many hours. Let's just put him down for a nap. And it worked for us. It might not work for everybody, but we are routine people. I think we turned him into a routine person. So he wakes up at pretty much the same time. He eats. He does his activity if he's not going to daycare. His nighttime, we have to do his routine down to the order of the songs that we sing to him. So like it's Wheels on the Bus first, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if we try to pick another one, you can add like 30 minutes to his awake time. So it works really well when he is on it. I know routines, it's good that you can change a routine. We're working on that part. But as just knowing the times and what to do next and flowing through the day with a 2-year-old, I think his routines are great.
Now, do you have similar like rituals and routines as an educator? Like, this is how I do my day during the school year? Because my wife's an educator as well. And so her summers, it's just like whatever happens, happens. But that school year, I mean, it is regimented.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my summer is my time to veg out on the couch and do whatever I want to do or not do anything. But
you shouldn't be saying that as a PE teacher.
I know. Well,
I'd be getting the equal amount of exercise.
I do say that, but I also probably have an unhealthy relationship with working out. I have like a gym in my basement. Like I've got that part covered. But as far as probably like my responsibilities, like folding my clothes, in the summer that'll go away. But once school starts, I wake up early, I work out. I get there a little bit early, set up, pretty much eat the same lunch almost every day. If it's a leftover, it's just all routines. And when you're a teacher and you're my type of teacher where I see every kid in the whole school, I don't just have one class. So it's really, I do the same thing for a week, and then I plan my next week. I do the same thing for the week. So it's very regimented. It's very similar. I go through all my grades playing what I have for the week, and then I start it all over.
But it helps to just, you can just tune other stuff out because you don't have to think about that stuff. I mean, that's been a healthy thing for not only you as an educator, but as a dad with your 2-year-old, right? Like, because I have these things, I can focus my brain power in other places because I don't have to figure out what's coming next. I already know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big planner too. So that way I don't have to worry about it. So I'll have the first month of what I'm doing planned. I love to plan as far as I can. Yeah. So then when I'm here, I can just look at it and I know what I'm doing. I don't have to worry about anything. But routines are huge for me, and they're huge for kids in school. And I'm sure that you stick to this, but I'm sure your kids never have seen a TV or a phone screen or an iPad, right? Oh my goodness.
You never let them touch that stuff?
So we just
get
got
cranky
Theo on the
when
TV.
they're on it too long.
Oh my god,
man.
they do. It's so bad. It's so bad. I have a story. We were taking a trip with our son for the first time, like a long one on an airplane. And so we have a tablet, which he had never seen before. And we're like, why don't we put, and this was before he even really watched TV at all. So he didn't know any of it. And we're like, yeah, let's get an episode of Bluey on there. And I was like, ooh, there's a Wheels on the Bus game. And so would have been a year and a little bit. And we sat it in front of him, just like, wonder if he'll like it, what it'll do. As soon as we set that game in front of him, he did not blink. He stared straight at it. And I was like, I got to take this away. I got to take this away. So screens are really hard. They're really cool, and it's fun, and it's easy to give all your attention to it, but it does have pretty big effects on kids' moods because your body's not moving, and a kid's body is not meant to not move. And so they're really fun, and they're really great tools. I have a projector in my gym, and I do put stuff on there a lot, like just, cues, but you just have to be really careful with screen time because of the sitting and doing nothing for a kid. Like, that's not what they were made to do. They were made to move.
Yeah, you're in that world where, like, physical education, the PE world, it's all about getting kids moved in screens. I mean, they've done it to the adults, too. It's not like the kids are, harmed by it, but, like, it is such an everyday, I mean, the menu at McDonald's moves now. When we were kids, it was like they had to change every little.
Dude, you
letter.
don't even talk to. Yeah. You're just in Florida. You don't even talk. You don't even order.
No, I know. Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
have to, like the one that we went to.
Yeah,
like you have to go to a screen.
Yeah,
you have to go to a touch screen. They won't even help you.
The people weren't even real humans. They were robots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what are some? Is there any sort of like, I don't know if there's federal guidelines or what are the recommendations from people that are in your world that say here's how much screen time is probably appropriate, and how do you regulate that?
Man, that's a really good question that I don't know the answer to. As far as a federal regulation, I can tell you what would make sense for me and probably most people. And if you look at it, schools, they went so far into screens during COVID. My first year of teaching was the year of COVID.
Oh, man.
And so they had no other choice. And when that happened, no one knew what was going to happen. So a ton of money and resources got flooded into, like, what if this happens and every kid doesn't have internet? They need a way to do their homework, a way to see their teacher. And so there were Chromebooks, iPads everywhere, because it might be necessary because we can't all meet together. And the past 2 schools that I've been to, you just hear we need to scale back technology, because there's some really awesome tools and things that kids can get into that really can, like, work on their level and really see where they're at. And there's really awesome data, but it's not as good at teaching you as a teacher is. So it's really awesome for some things, but I think as a whole, it went too far one way and it's starting to go back. I think if you need it, there's a video of somebody doing something as a teacher and you see that it's educational, like we let my son watch Miss Rachel and he talks his head off. And I think maybe that was part of it. Like, I don't know, but it should not be the main thing. It should be very, like, sparingly, like, I don't know. Like,
what about the ones like Danny Go where it's interactive? It's like it's like more of like, I don't know if you've seen those, but you have to, like, get up. It's almost like I would compare it to an old school workout video, like a Jane Fonda,
or like that We Go,
or Richard Simmons, or
We
something.
Fit or whatever.
No, I think those
like, are okay?
Are really cool. I don't know if the problem is with screens because they're screens. I think the problem is maybe what is on them and what your child is doing. Because, like you said, if they're playing like an interactive, like, video game where they're moving, sounds awesome. Like, I would love to do that right now. But if they're just sitting and they're watching someone unbox a toy on YouTube, like, that's probably not doing much for them upstairs, So there's good and bad. You shouldn't be the one that's like, it's all. Too, oh, it's probably even worse for adults.
You be the one, Jay. You be the messenger.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like anything else, though, honestly, in moderation.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, in moderate, but what you're saying is there's so much temptation to go from, like, an interactive game to, like, something that's really not too helpful.
Yeah, they're cool.
To our brains. Yeah.
It's really cool and
colorful.
Those lights. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Sure.
So what you're saying is never let your children have screens. That's what I heard you say.
Correct. Yeah, I definitely do not have a PS5, and I do never play it because I am a man of my word. So. There is a time and place. You just have to watch your kid and how they're reacting, and don't give them free access to YouTube. YouTube Kids is not for kids. It's not. They say it's moderated, but that doesn't mean it's
anyone can't hack into it either. Yeah.
Well, like, even just the things that are on there might not be any, like, okay, there's no bad words in this video, but is it a message that you would want them? Do you even know what it is? Mm-hmm. Before it was TV, so you at least, with the TV shows, you're like, well, this is PBS. This is, like, they're probably teaching them something, but YouTube, it can be anybody. Mm-hmm. So just because it's not bad for them, it doesn't mean that it's good for them either.
So you're teaching at a very interesting time when technology is taking over more and more, but you're in a field that's encouraging activity and movement, even getting outside. So why is it important? Why do we still need to have those things where we go outside and do things with our bodies rather than just letting artificial intelligence run the world?
Right. Well, because it's good for you. As you all know, it will make you feel better. It's just...
This is medicine, right? Natural medicine.
You can't do better than that. You can do you want to be in the hospital at a younger age because you didn't move your body or you didn't know how to exercise even because you were just inside? It's just so important. You're going to feel better. There's been so many studies that they take one group of kids and they give them 3 recesses in between their day, and they give one group of kids and they give them none. The kids that got outside do better in school. Their moods are better. They retain more information. Your body is just meant to move, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it has to be something. Like, your body is meant to move. Your body's not meant to sit. So the more time you're sitting, it's the worse it gets for you, honestly. So before I was a teacher and I was in school, I used to have back problems like crazy. And I never knew why, because I always worked out. And I was like, I don't get it. And then when I got my first job teaching, it all went away. And I was like, why? And I was like, oh, because I don't sit down for 8 hours. I'm like, that's probably better than sitting all day, like studying, you know? So, and not saying that you have to stand up all day either, because that's hard. But you just got to have both.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'd imagine, like, as we were talking in the very beginning, having those routines, the more you make sedentary lifestyle as part of your routine, the harder it is going to be to break that as you get older, right?
Yep,
and
definitely.
So if like we're teaching kids now, it's important to move, to be active, to go do things rather than just sitting still, because once that becomes like, oh, this is what I do, I sit still for hours watching videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be your new routine.
And that's what I try to teach. And like I said, I teach kids that are so young. I'm not even really teaching them that. I'm teaching them, hey, moving is fun. Because if they remember, hey, moving is fun, then when they get to their middle school teachers and their high school teachers, they can, you kind of learn more about the health stuff, actually. Like, but I just want you to know, hey, when I move and play games, like, it's pretty fun. So, like, that's all I'm really trying to do.
Is there any way, you're very young in your career in PE, is there any, like 30 years from now, would you consider taking up smoking and walking with a limp like some of my old PE teachers?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't. Please. I don't think that's in the cards for me, unfortunately.
Another lap.
No,
I'm telling you, man. R.I.P. Mr. Fowler. he was one of our high school gym teachers, and he would come in walking with a limp, smelling of smoke, like as he would. And hey, man, if you weren't paying attention, everybody ran.
Everybody runs.
Yeah. Like, if you're not on your numbers, we'll run it again.
Yeah. Punishment for all.
And he wanted us to run because he would go outside so he could smoke.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, is one of the other biggest perks of your job the fact that you get to wear sweats to school?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So awesome. I could not imagine dressing up ever for my job. It's awesome. Great. Yeah. Great. Sweatpants every day. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Fellas, as we wrap this podcast up, is there anything that we missed about that any dads or families should know about PE moving forward?
Oh, man. If you are a dad, just get your kid moving. It's more fun. I've got my son who is 2. I did not force this. I love soccer, but I did not force it. I promise you, I'm not one of those dads. He will ask me to kick the ball around, and he will do it for an hour straight. And so it's like the activity you want to choose.
This is a soccer star over here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Soccer coach, soccer star.
I don't let my kid
Pele over here.
Yeah.
I don't let my kid play soccer anymore because the first time we started learning, he fractured his femur.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, pick a different
why don't you play
sport.
baseball, buddy?
Baseball. That's a good one, too.
Well, Miles, thank you so much. Yeah. We really appreciate you being here. And Brian Mattson, as always, from the Downtown Church. Thank you for another Good Dads podcast.